Hello. So in this lecture series, I am going to teach about the electromagnetics theory, with electromagnetic wave propagation. So before going into the electromagnetic wave propagation, we need to know some concept of basic vector and vector calculus. So I will just brush up these concepts before going into the electromagnetic subject. So we'll start with what? We'll start with basic vectors and vector calculus. So just some concept of these things. Okay, so basic vectors and vector calculus will deal with unit vectors, what is the direction of vector, then the coordinate systems, Cartesian coordinate system, cylindrical coordinate system, and spherical coordinate system, etc. Okay, so first let me tell you what do you mean by electromagnetics. So we can say electromagnetics or EM is a branch of physics. Okay, first it was means introduced or taught taught to students with physics subjects. Okay, later on when the development came, it included in the engineering subjects, but preliminary it was in the physics. So EM is a branch of physics where we deal with what? Electric and magnetic fields. Okay, so this is what the name says, EM, electromagnetic. So we are dealing with electric and magnetic fields, and it is a part of branch of physics. Why it was a part of physics? Because initially what physics means, what physics means, some physical phenomenon happening and it has to be explained in a mathematical way. So initially it was a part of physics. Okay, the subject the subject electromagnetics or EM phenomena, we can say EM phenomena can be summarized in four equations called as Maxwell's equations. Okay, so this Maxwell's equation is a very important thing. We need to know about this Maxwell equation. So in subsequent classes I will discuss what is Maxwell's equation and how it is derived. So basically Maxwell equation is nothing but it is a collection of four different equations. So what Maxwell did is he took the four basic physics concept. One is Faraday's law, then Ampere's law, okay, and your Gauss law. So he took the equations and he made four set of equations. From there it is called as Maxwell's equations. So what are those equations? It is very important and you need to know. So equations are del dot D equals to rho B. Second equation is, this is equation number 1. Then del dot B equals to 0. This is equation number 2. Then del cross E is equals to minus del B by del T, equation number 3. And equation number 4 is del cross H equals to J plus del D by del T. Okay, so these are the four basic equations of Maxwell, or widely known as Maxwell's equation. So okay, so which of these equations are from which law? So we'll discuss that later in detail. So this is the basic equation we are going to use throughout the electromagnetic subject. Okay, and the propagation of electromagnetic wave was first characterized or mathematically explained by these equations. That's why these are so important. So now what are the terms used here? So let us just quickly write what are the terms used here. So del is the vector differential operator. So that's why you need to know the basic vectors and vector calculus. So here we'll know what is vector differential vector differential operator. Okay, and next term is what? D. So what is D? It is the electric flux density. Electric flux density. Next term is what? B. Okay, so tail we have already written, so next term is B. So what is B? B is magnetic flux density. So what is this magnetic flux density? What is this electric flux density? We'll have a detailed discussion on this in subsequent classes. Then it is electric field intensity. Electric field intensity. Next is H. It is magnetic field intensity. Okay, and what is the next one? Next one is the J. So one thing remaining is J. What is J? J is nothing but your current density. Okay, so these are the explanation to all the variables used here. So these two are Gauss law. So Gauss law of electrostatics. This one is Gauss law of electrostatics, and this one is Gauss law of magnetostatics. So this one is Faraday's law. Okay, and this one is Ampere's circuital law. What Maxwell did is he took all the laws, means from Gauss law he took law and he made it in a form. He took Faraday's law and made it in this form. How this form came from the Faraday's law, we'll be discussing that. Then Ampere's circuital law, and he did some modification to the Ampere's circuital law. So we'll learn that what modification he has done to the Ampere's circuital law. Okay, so next let us go to the concept of scalar and vectors. Scalar and vector. Okay, so what is a scalar first? So scalar is nothing but it is a quantity. I can say a scalar is a quantity that has only magnitude. Now remember, when some short question came, what is scalar, people write a scalar has only magnitude. So what is a scalar? Actually scalar is a quantity, and what is the property of the quantity? It has only magnitude. Okay, so scalar is a quantity. Don't forget to write this quantity value. Okay, next one is, what is vector? A vector, similarly to the scalar, a vector is a quantity. Vector is a quantity that has both what? Both magnitude and direction. Okay, so what is a vector? Vector is a quantity, and what is the property of the quantity? It has both magnitude and direction. So for better understanding, I can write here, it is the property of the quantity. Okay, so because of this property of the quantity, it is called as the vector or a scalar. Okay, so what are the some examples of vector and scalar? So for scalar, some examples are time, mass, distance, temperature, okay, I can write it easy. So these things only have magnitude, they don't have a direction, right? So time will say what is the time, so you can say time like 12 o'clock or 4 o'clock, like this. It will not have a direction. Okay. Mass is a definite value, it will have a value. Okay, next is some example for some vectors. Examples are, you can say velocity. Okay, velocity means in which direction it is moving, in how fast. Velocity, force. So here I can say velocity is a vector, your speed is a scalar. Okay, speed is a quantity but velocity has direction. Then force, so in which direction the force is acting. So if distance is a scalar, so if I write displacement, it will be a vector. Okay, then electric field intensity is an example of vector quantity. Okay, now how do we represent a vector? Okay, next point is how do we represent a vector? So a vector is represented with a arrow on top of it. So these are some basic things, I should not be telling in detail, but just for brush of your memory or brush of your knowledge, so I am just discussing this. Okay, so for example, if I write like this is a vector, or I can write like this is a vector, or bold letter. So when you are doing some equations calculation like this, so writing bold letter is not possible. Okay, so A, if I write B in bold letter, means bold compared to the letter that you are writing, then I will say that it is your vector quantity. But practically it is not possible. While writing some equation, solving equation, you will be writing bold letters. It is possible in only books only. So for that purpose we are writing this arrow symbol, we have to give this arrow symbol there. Okay, so next thing is, in EM theory we study about the fields. Okay, so while we'll be going inside the EM theory, we'll be studying about the read. So I'll write EM theory is study about fields. So electric field and magnetic field will be studying about those fields. So we need to know what is field. Okay, so now you know what is scalar, what is vector. Now we'll see what is a field. So what is a field? A field is a function. Okay, so keep in mind one thing, scalar and vector are quantities. Okay, so the scalar is a quantity, but we write a field is a function. Okay, that specifies a particular quantity everywhere in a region. Everywhere in a region. Now what does this mean? A field is a function. Okay, field is a function. Like we write f of xy. Okay, or we write g of uv. So functions are written like this. So field is nothing but can be represented like this. So field is a function that specifies a particular quantity everywhere in a region. Okay, so if we move around x and move around y, if we change the values of x and y, then we will get some value. So this is what the field is. Now depending upon the type of quantity, we can have we can have a scalar field, one is scalar field, and we can have a vector field. So this depends upon what is the type of quantity it is representing. So what is scalar field? If the quantity is the scalar, the quantity it is representing is the scalar. So if the quantity is a scalar, which quantity? The quantity, this quantity, which is specified. Okay, if this quantity, okay, so if this quantity is scalar, then we say it is scalar field. If the quantity, it is a vector field if the quantity is a vector. Okay, now what are some of the examples for this? So scalar field, I can give the example temperature distribution. So what is this temperature distribution and how this is a scalar? Temperature distribution is nothing but you consider your room, okay, wherever you are sitting. So in that particular room, so that is a region, right? So region means there are different places you can measure the temperature. So let's say in one corner of your room you measure a temperature, in other corner of a room you measure the temperature. So you are measuring the temperature over a field. Okay, now the measuring quantity, that is temperature, is a scalar, so that's why it is a scalar quantity. Now what can be example of a vector quantity? So let's say velocity. Velocity in a region. So if velocity is a vector quantity, then if you measure the velocity over a particular region, then you will get one vector field, that is the velocity field. So velocity field will be changing in every spaces, the direction will be changing throughout the space. Okay, so that's why if we are measuring the velocity through a function over a region, then we say that is a vector field. Okay, or if we are measuring a scalar quantity over a region, then we say that a scalar field. So let it be that much for today's class, and next class I will start with unit vector. So unit vector is one of the most important concept. You need to understand that, because unit vector will be used everywhere throughout this electromagnetic subjects will be using this unit vector. So stay tuned, and within next couple of days I will upload the next video. Till then, if you have any doubt, you can post it here, and I will try to solve the doubts or any queries or any comments in the next, before starting of the next class. Then I will proceed further. So thank you.